Oh, what's that big yawn about? Hello, good morning, Sky. Good afternoon. Friday, baby. Friday. I'm here at home in Portishead. It is an absolutely beautiful day. Look at this. And this is just the start of the weekend. So lots of stuff going on. Trimming a dagger board for the dinghy down on the road there. Trimming that. Working on a rudder also for the dinghy, so custom building something there, and then experienced some water issues on John Seagull over the weekend, so I got some jerry cans, going to go put those on, so we'll have an extra, 25 litres a piece, 200 litres, extra 200 litres on board. Might not do all 200 litres, might do 150 litres and keep the other ones for 11 points, but look at this. Absolutely beautiful day. It's the start of the weekend and it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. Not going to be much sailing weather, but definitely good to get down to the beach and go do some dinghy sailing and go have a look at Lake Yard. So yeah, come along. So I've arrived at Deacon's Boatyard, and so the plans have somewhat changed for the weekend, but this is quite a nice place actually. There's Swanwick across the road. So John Seagull was actually built right there. And in fact, one of her sister boats belongs to a good acquaintance of mine. Also, his first name's John. But yeah, so he's also got a Moody 42 Mark 1. I'll show you in a bit. So the deal with this weekend, and actually with this whole situation, is the marina called me this week and said, well, they emailed first and said that there was a contamination in the fuel. They'd get back to me. So I put in about 250 litres of fuel before leaving Portishead to come around Land's End, etc., to do this delivery, and that's been contaminated with petrol. So they called me yesterday and said that the best thing to do is for an engineer to come out, pump out the fuel, service the engine, all that kind of stuff, and so they would organise a time for me to do that. But I've arranged with them instead that I would bring John Seagull to one of their boatyards, and then they could just do it here. And Leven Point is here on the Hamble, so this river here is the Hamble River. Leven Point is about 2 miles downstream, if that far. So I need to be here anyway, and it sort of works well. So yeah, the idea is that I'll bring John Seagull here over the course of today and tomorrow. It will be on the engine, so we'll dilute the fuel with all the spare fuel that's on board. They're going to replace all of that. They're going to service the engine for me. So yeah, so a little bit annoying that whoever supplied them with their fuel pumped a lot of petrol into the diesel tanks. But you know, grateful to boat folk, these guys here who also own Portishead Marina, Weymouth, Portland, Penarth, and a whole bunch of marinas around the country. You know, credit to them. They've stepped up and said, yep, no, bring your boat over, we'll service it, replace the fuel, and no charge to you. So yeah, you know, it's a change in plan, but there's nothing really to do this weekend anyway. There's no wind, and so yeah, we'll amble over here over the course of tomorrow, stop in the Isle of Wight for some Isle of Wight whitetail. Apparently that's really good, I'm told. And that's the plan. It's always nice to come back to a boat and she's still floating on her lines, right? Jib and jigger, baby. Jib and jigger. Sort of throws the perspective off a little bit. Obviously the mizzen is a lot smaller than the main. Yeah, jib and jigger, baby. This is like old man sailing. That's alright. Absolutely beautiful. It's calmed down so much. It was pretty windy out in the in the channel, but now that we're actually in the Solent, it's really pretty. I want to end up in the water. Absolutely beautiful. Life doesn't get much better than this. So, we have the Genoa, full Genoa, and we have a full mizzen. We have no main, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is called Jib and Jigger, sailing under just the mizzen and the Genoa. And it's an absolutely beautiful evening here in the Solent. Absolutely gorgeous. Sun's going to go down in about, what's it now, 6:30, sun's going to go down just after 8. And it's absolutely beautiful. Life does not get much better than this. This is pretty cool. We've here in Cowes, in Cowes Yacht Haven, and we've moored up next to these boats here. That's 2 oysters, Oyster 63 from the Rona sailing project. And interestingly, the skipper on board is the sailing instructor from my club. It's Starcross Fishing and Cruising Club. That's not a skipper, that's my dog. But yeah, so that's that one. So there's 2 here from the Rona sailing project, and right next to them is this absolute flipping monster from the Tall Ships Youth Trust. So Anna, who came sailing with us on the Easter weekend, is one of the works for the Tall Ships Youth Trust. So that's pretty cool. So we're rafted up on the outside there. Oh, you got the Rona sailing project here and the Tall Ships Youth Trust right next to it. Yeah, dead chuffed. Absolutely beautiful evening here in Cowes. Gosh, it's an absolutely beautiful morning here. I hope that fog's not going to roll in, but I think it's going to cruise off at some point. That'll be good, nice sunshine. I thought I'd take you on a walk around of Cowes Yacht Haven. This, John Seagull's rafted up on the other side there. This is an absolutely beautiful boat. I had a good look around it yesterday. Not inside, but outside. I hope that I can get a look around it. This is the boat that Andy, the sailing instructor from Starcross Fishing and Cruising Club, where I'm a member, is currently, I think, skippering. Yeah, absolutely beautiful oyster. It's such a beautiful, menacing, almost not menacing, but purposeful boat. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, what was super fortuitous, by the way, was that yesterday we were going to go out for dinner in town, and Sky heard some loud noises and then bolted back to the boat because she's a bit frightened of pub environments and crowds and things. It's one of her phobias. She bolted back to the boat and I had to come after her. And so these guys had just finished dinner and they said to us, there's actually loads of leftovers. And so we had the most amazing chicken pasta bake for dinner last night. It's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, it's a good night's sleep. Anyway, we're up at 5 this morning for some other silly reason. But yeah, thanks to the Rona Sailing Project and Andy for supper last night. I thought I'd take a walk around and show you guys some of the absolutely gorgeous things that are currently here in Cowes Yacht Haven. I have no idea what this is. It's flying a German flag off the stern, but it's just a celebration of teak, isn't it? If anybody knows what this is, let me know. Absolutely beautiful boat. I estimate somewhere in the region of about 50-55 foot. Beautiful boat. Gosh, and then there's this thing. It's registered in the US. A really stripped back race machine. It's a carbon mast, carbon boom. It doesn't even have a topping lift. Maybe somebody can explain to me why a boat like this wouldn't have a topping lift. But yeah, the boom is currently down on the on a couple of fenders over there. But yeah, they're currently doing some work on it. There's some tools and equipment over there. But yeah, amazing thing. Oh, by the way, that Rona Sailing Project Oyster, it's a triple spreader rig on a ketch. Never seen that. Ah, sun's coming up. A shout out to the Border Force. They were chasing down some smokers yesterday. That's jet skiers, for those of you who don't know Waterworld. But yeah, this boat looks like it's certainly seen its fair share of active duty. Nice looking boat. I'd like to have a go in one of those. And shout out to the Oysterly. Shout out to the Westerly Massive. I don't know what this is. Looks like a consort. What is this? Yep, I was right. Westerly Consort, 29 foot. These are nice boats. Absolutely beautiful family cruiser. If you want something bigger, then this isn't for you, but the Westerly Consorts certainly are quite nice. So, Saltwind, I'll give them a shout out in a bit. You know, I have to admit, as much as I would absolutely love an Oyster 66 super ocean growing monster, this is arguably my favorite boat. This is a Naughty Cat. If I'm not mistaken, it's a Naughty Cat 33. Absolutely beautiful boat, top jolly. There was one of these for sale. This one's actually registered in Poole as well, but there was one of these for sale when I bought Leven Point, called Polar Bear, I think it was. The guy literally bought it, spent 2 or 3 months fixing it up, and when he launched it, I caught up with him and he said, yep, come Monday, I'm setting off to the Caribbean. He had pushed enough money up the hill in order to have a happy retirement. He was 55 and was swanning off across the pond to go spend the rest of his life in the Caribbean. Good luck to him, but yeah, love these, absolutely love these. Such a beautiful boat. So this is, in case I haven't mentioned it, the Cowes Yacht Haven. And it's right at the entrance to the Cowes River and on the Isle of Wight. And yeah, amazing place. Dare not come here with anything over 10 meters, 33 foot in the summer. I managed to pull in here. I was literally outside and pull in here and radioed the marina and asked them if they got some space for a small one. And they asked me where I was, and I said I was literally right outside. And so it was generally first come, first serve. And if my boat was anything more than about 33 foot, then they probably would have turned me away. And given it was the height of the summer season, this place was absolutely rammed. Boats were rafted 4 deep on the outside. Yeah, and the sun's coming up. The rest of the clouds weren't there. But yeah, guys are going out. It's nice and fun. Yeah, I wish you guys were here. Cowes Yacht Haven has loads of these little pocket race boats dotted around. There's not so many out today because some of them are on the moorings, and so there's quite a lot of racing going on at the moment. But this one in particular I quite like. I reckon Nick and I should get one of these, hey, dads and lads. Yeah, little pocket race boat. I wonder what the story is between those two dads, but maybe they're just mates. So yeah, dads and lads. Quite a nice little boat. Looks like it'd be quite fast. If you're wondering what we're up to, what I'm up to, it's stupidly early. I'm just trying to work out which coffee shop opens the earliest, but I came across this place. What do you reckon that lobster smokes? Marlborough? Camel? Peter Stuyvesant? And we have a winner. Ah, dog friendly too. So yeah, we're gonna set up the coffee machines early for us. Yeah, seagulls are having breakfast. Nice. Haha, the smoking lobster. I think they're open 12 till 4 p.m. That'll be too late for us. That's a shame. I'd like to go smoke a lobster. So those of you who have been following us for a while, you might recognize this shop, K1 Britannia. This is the fundraising retail outlet for the rebuilding of HMY Britannia, the King's Racing Yacht Britannia. That was a winning J-class race boat. I'm going to pop in here later on and see if I can catch up with Jonathan if he's about. Ruben still needs to learn how to write his name using the flags, and the deal is if he does, then I'll tattoo my surname, our surname, across over the top of a scar that I've got in my lower back from an injury I had a few years ago. Yeah, so Ruben needs to get his socks on and do that. Should I get that for John Seagull? It's a bit big for 11 Point. I'll get that for John Seagull. Actually, I do have one for John Seagull, which I do want to install. I want to get rid of the stainless steel wheel and install a ship's wheel. It's a little bit smaller than that, that's for sure. But I'll come back a little bit later on. Oh, hold on a second. Oh, it's all been emptied out. Oh, what a bummer. I'm going to get in touch with Jonathan, find out what that's all about. Ah, there's a sign here saying they're going undergoing renovations to the floor. So I wonder if they've had a bit of an emergency. Anyway, they've got a shop's wheel on the wall there. I might get in touch with Jonathan and see if I can pick that up for 11 Point. Oh, I like that wheel. I thought I'd show you this. We got dads and lads over there, and almost as good, arguably equally as good, we got man's best friend over here. Oop, wrong way. Man's best friend. I wonder if his pooch goes sailing with him. Maybe this is his pooch. This is man's best friend. Gosh, that little boat over there. Somebody tell me what these things are called. I have no idea. There's like hundreds of them here. But that little boat there is called Furious. I wonder what he's so furious about. Yeah, I wasn't going to plan on videoing more boats, but I couldn't help but wonder what this guy was so furious about. But it did make me wonder, if this was a powerboat and it was called Furious, then I probably would have had something else to say about that. But since it's on a sailboat, I think it's quite funny. I obviously have quite an inherent bias towards sailboats and against powerboats. Like if his boat was called Furious, I'd be like, man, you need a Prozac. But his boat's called Furious, and that's quite funny to me. See what I mean? This boat has the super imaginative name of Why Not? K-N-O-T. Why not? Yeah. I think powerboaters need to have a word with themselves and come up with more imaginative names than Naughty Girl or Naughty Boy, B-U-O-Y. But yeah, I do see a trend that the powerboats. Hey, good morning. I do see a trend that the powerboats namings are slightly less imaginative, and there seems to be an awful proliferation of those sort of nautical themed ones.
Back to that grey house. Big grey house.
Yeah, so the rain session slightly, which is a bit of a dampener. Haha. So yeah, we're on the Hamble. For those of you who recognise that, this is the Hamble. Make sure I don't crash into a westerly. That would not be good. That would not go down well. Gosh, Westerly, that's a Seahawk. I like those actually. Yeah, there's a Consort Duo coming up. Yeah, so anyway, we're on the Hamble. So we had a great morning this morning. Bumped into Jonathan from K1 Britannia and had a chat. Yeah, it was good to catch up. Caught up with his escapades and the humanitarian work that he was doing in Turkey, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, next trips and all that kind of stuff. Stories from Africa. But yeah, we're on the Hamble, heading up to Bursildon to go and pop the boat into Deacons so that they can do the engine service and flush out the fuel tanks and what have you from the contaminated fuel. And but yeah, a little bit of a damp and dreary day. There you go, a little Consort Duo, little 29 foot with a pilot house. Funky little boats, nice for a couple. I got a few Moody's coming up. A few boats, production boats. Yeah, obviously this is the Hamble, this is full of boats, but yeah. I pay more attention to the Moody's and the Westerlies, and of course the Oysters, because Hamble Point Marina and where the ocean is. My favourite taxi driver, remember that? If you come down to the Hamble, you need a ride out to a boat or just have a mooch around. Look up Hamble Taxi. It's pretty cool. Another Westerly. We'll hop back to the old Leven Point tomorrow, maybe this evening. We'll stop at the shop and grab her some flowers for having neglected her. It's probably been about a month since I've been on board. Yeah. Yeah, poor old Leven Point, she's probably feeling a bit neglected. It's all been about John Seagull recently. But, yeah, bit of a narrow channel up here, but we'll pop down and bring her some flowers and have some tea with the old girl. Super old, 9 months younger than me. So, as you're approaching Deacons, might actually pop in here to the Jolly Sailor and grab some lunch. Be rude not to, right? Be rude not to come in here for lunch, right? I reckon. Yeah, the Jolly Sailor, good food. This boat's always nice to see as well. This is Enteas of Hamble. This is a sister boat to John Seagull. So this is also a Moody 42 Mark 1 and owned by a chap called John, also Joanne. Yeah, that's quite nice. It's nice to see other boats. There we go, we're all squared away. Girl power is the only, that was the only source of testosterone on the boat. We had the duty manager from Deacons come and help us out, Manager S, I suppose if you want to be old school about it. And then we had Natasha and Anna, and obviously Sky. Sky was giving moral support from down below. She didn't like hello Sky. She didn't like that she was being abandoned on the inside, but yeah, there we go. So fingers crossed. Next thing, service, and a bit of a thumbs up. I might get them to do some stuff while I'm here, because that would make sense if they can do it whilst I'm away. So I want some extra attachment points to move the traveller on the boom. So I want those sort of up here. Sort of extra attachment to U-bolts, the sort of whatever they call those things, over there. They're actually inside, I've got them already. So I want those, and then to sort of check out some of the electrics. I think I've got some parasitic drain on the batteries, so you know, I don't even know where to start with that. So yeah, they can do that. They can chase down a few other things as well, but I think you know, helping to move things forward with moving that traveller onto the coach roof, and I'll have a think about what else I want to do. But yeah, there we go, all squared away at Deacons Boatyard. Just arrived back at Lakeyard Marina, and obviously I took the train to get back here from Bursildon, or from Southampton Central, to get back here because I left my car here. And I got to tell you, just you know, the comparison, the choice between keeping John Seagull here versus on the Hamble, there's just no comparison. I mean, look at this. Absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you can't really appreciate it on the video, but it's absolutely gorgeous. It's late afternoon now. What's the time? It's 6:30, 20 past 6, and it's absolutely stunning. I mean, the video just does no justice whatsoever. It's absolutely beautiful. You know, sort of in the distance over there, it really does no justice whatsoever. But it's quaint, it's quiet. Across on the other side there is all nature reserve and bird sanctuary. There's Brownsea Island, which is that one over in the distance over there, and you know, the moorings here. It's a long way to get from here to the English Channel, but gosh, as a location to arrive in versus the Hamble, you know, the Hamble is sort of the epicenter of sailing in the UK, but this is just like so much more tranquil. Yeah, happy with this decision. I come up on the balcony of the Lakeyard Marina reception just to maybe give you an idea of what this place is like. Gives you a bit of a better appreciation for just how cool this is. Yes, it's Sunday and it's pretty quiet, but it is a long weekend, so you'd expect things to be busy. Certainly the Hamble's pretty busy today. You know, when I dropped John Seagull off there was a lot going on. And we went for dinner and there were boats coming and going. The Solent was busy. But look at this. Hardly any movement. Boats shouldn't ultimately be at anchor. They shouldn't be on their moorings and in the dock, and certainly on days like this. But yeah. This is so nice. For those of you guys who are following Sailing with a Weirdo, I thought I'd show you this. I had a choice when I moved my boat from Portishead to wherever, to take it down to somewhere further on the south coast, to Exmouth, Dartmouth, around to Weymouth, Portland area, to take it into Southampton, onto the Hamble, or that kind of neck of the woods. But having been there now today to take John Seagull to the to have the engine service, it's just I've come back here and can compare and contrast. This is just so much nicer. Absolutely beautiful place. Lakeyard Marina. There's nature reserve, wildlife sanctuaries, bird sanctuary across the way there. It's absolutely stunning. So chuffed with this decision. So, 11 Point, very, very, very different from John Seagull. Westerly Berwick, 31 foot. It's got a little bowsprit over there, so that makes it 32 foot overall. It was 33 foot overall, but I've taken the hydrovane off. But yeah, so we're out sailing today. We've got Marina, who's a newbie. It's only ever been out sailing once, so that's quite cool actually. I love doing stuff like that. So if anybody is watching this and lives in the south of the UK or southwest of the UK and fancies coming out sailing with me, give us a shout. It's Bill and me's got a new mast. Judging by all the orange bits, they've got all sorts of orange things on the stern, the mast orange, booms orange. I wouldn't be surprised if they got a few orange bits on the sail. Looks like they're getting ready for a second navigation. So that's us done for the weekend. Second long weekend, and no, first of the long weekends. So obviously Easter was a long weekend as well. No, so first of the long weekends, another one next weekend, but that's going to be more with the kids. But yeah, this was great. So yeah, newbies sailed with Natasha and Anna. Natasha from a previous video. She's head of suicide prevention for the Wiltshire NHS Trust. That was quite a nice last minute addition. So that was great. Stayed over in Cowes, met up with Jonathan. And so we'll see Jonathan again next weekend with Ruben and Sarah and some of the kids. And then today was Marina and newbie coming out sailing. That was good. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.